So with compositions of functions, in A we have g of f of 2. That's how you could read it. What the key thing is knowing how this notation works. What does g of f of 2 mean? It means that first of all, you're going to put 2 into the function f of x. So the x value of 2 gets put into f. That's the first one here. 2 goes to 0. The y value would be 0. Remember that f of x is like another way of saying your y value. So f of 2 is really asking, what is the y value when x is 2? And when x is 2, the y value is 0, so we can now replace the f of 2 inside the brackets. We know that the y value is 0. We can replace that with 0. And now 0 goes into the function g. So now we're thinking, well, if the x value, my input value into g is 0, what happens to that? That becomes 1. So g of f of 2 is equal to 1. And the second one, it's g of 2. You bought 2 machines that were g and you put them beside each other. So you put a number into g, out it would come, hit the conveyor belt, go into g again. What would happen? Well, if I put a 2 into g of x, out comes a negative 1. So instead of g of 2, this g of 2 is asking, what's the y value when you put an x value of 2 into the function g? Out would come a negative 1. And now a negative 1 goes into another g function. What comes out? Out comes a 2. You can have questions like that, right? Negative 1, then it becomes a 2, then it's back to a negative 1, then back to a 2, then back to a negative 1. You can do it over and over and over and over again, and have a lot of them if you wanted to. And so what we're going to look at with the next couple of questions is, first of all, we figured out how we could do composition of functions if we had arrow diagrams like this. Okay, so try question number 4 just to get familiar with that. Eventually we're going to be doing algebra with this, just like we started with trying to find out what machine you could buy on Amazon Super Prime so your parents never find out you wreck things at home.